It's just been so hot out. I can't get anything done in the garage until after the sun goes down. It's crazy. I feel like I'm melting alive out here. Hey kids, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, hoping that you are having a great day. And in today's video, as I melt in this summer heat, I wanted to take a moment to sit back and relax with you kids and talk about Bionicle. That's right, we're finally getting around to filling in some viewer requests and covering the Bionicle card games. Because yes, there were several Bionicle card games back in the day, and whew, you might be surprised by how many there were. But a quick overview, and in this video, this is just a quick overview video. I'm not talking about any of these games individually. I'm just letting you know what they were and their general premise. These are all of these are out of print, okay? But if you don't know what Bionicle is, Bionicle was a Lego brand from back in the day. It started in 2001 during a period where Lego themselves, as the rumors go, I don't actually know how true this is, but the rumor was back in the day, Lego was not doing so well financially, and they were looking for a bunch of new ways to get audience attention, get people looking at their brands, and to try and get more people buying Lego products. So they tried a few new ways, a few new brick lines, a few new IPs, original IPs, to try and generate interest. And one of those IPs, using the Technic line of plastic pieces, was Bionicle, which it wasn't the first of the weird robot lines, but it was the most impressive, in case that wasn't obvious. Bionicle, biomechanical robot machines. It was a look, I'm going to be honest. It was very special. Bionicle, at least the first set, might have felt a bit weak in terms of complexity and design for a Lego set. But when it came to marketing, advertisements, when it came to generating something that felt like it was amazing, felt like it was something truly special, they knocked it out of the park with Bionicle. The advertising campaign included not just TV spots and commercials, but tie-in sets with McDonald's releases, comic books, all kinds of digital stories you could read through and play through. They had their own Flash game you could play on the website. There was lore. There were characters you could follow. There was things you could learn about the world the Bionicles lived in, the island of Maltanui, the Great Spirit, its evil brother, Makuta. It's quite a thing, and it brought attention real quick to Lego. There was a period of time between around 2001 to 2003 where everyone was playing with Bionicles. Everyone loved Bionicles. Everyone knew the names of all the Toa. They knew all the Matorans, all the Rahi beasts, the Borac, the Rakshi. Everybody had a favorite set. Everybody had their own custom Toa they were working with. It was crazy. It was a little cultural sensation, a little snapshot of time where everyone was into it. You could not go 5 feet without talking to somebody who knew about what Bionicle was back then. And it wasn't just individual sets. They sold Bionicles in blind boxes. You could have little mask packs for your Bionicles back in the day. Crazy stuff, honestly. And yeah, Bionicle was a bit of a cultural sensation, like I said. And it proved popular enough to, say with me, get tie-in licensed material. Not just video games, because there were Bionicle video games back in the day, not just the Flash game, but there was also card games, several of them. 4 you might be aware of, and then 2 you probably never heard of. First off, there was the Quests of the Mask, which was the Quest for the Masks. That was its name, sorry. Quest for the Masks, which was the basic game. It was made by Upper Deck in 2001 or 2002, I don't remember which year. And it was a fairly simple but interesting card game. It was followed up by Borac Swarm, which is technically a separate card game, but was completely compatible with the original card game's rule set, which was kind of weird. There's not a lot of card games that do that, where they're technically a different game. Then there was the Borac Awake, and if I recall correctly, this one was on because despite being similar to Borac Swarm, it was not compatible with Borac Swarm. Instead, it was kind of a small, self-contained card game that came prepackaged with McDonald's Happy Meals. Much like the original Matoran line, which was packaged with McDonald's Happy Meals in 2001, the Borac Awake cards came in, I think, 7 card packs. I might be misremembering. It might have been like it was either 1 or 2 cards or 7 cards. I don't remember which one it was. And watch the very first comment being someone correct me. It was neither of those numbers. It was none of those numbers. I'll be completely wrong. Now, Borac Awakes, the Borac Awake. That was the 3rd card game, and it was incompatible with the other ones. And it was kind of okay. I thought it was fine. Then there was Toan Reconstruct, which was the 4th card game, and I believe only came in decks. There were no boxes for that card game. It was just pre-constructed decks, and this one had the special gimmick here was that you were building your Toa as part of the core gameplay, and you could play with your actual Lego sets tying into the card game, which was kind of fun, kind of neat. But I mean, you're gonna have the Lego sets if you're playing the card game for the Lego sets. Like, there's no way kid's not gonna have them, even back then. But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat, pretty strange as a gimmick. I've played that once forever ago. I think I've played all 4 of those first ones back in the day, because they used to be, like I said, Bionicle used to be fairly popular. Everybody knew what Bionicle was. And then those were the first 4. Those 4, I think most people who are familiar with Bionicle were probably aware of those, especially since Quest for the Masks and the Borac Awake, the 1st and the 3rd ones, those ones I think were fairly well known just because of how well tied in they were with Bionicle material at the time. Quest for the Masks released early enough that I think most people who were still following the Matanui storyline, it was sold in stores right alongside the Blind Mask packs, right there next to the Toa, right there next to a lot of the other boxes. So most people were aware of it. Whereas the Borac Awakes, that was a McDonald's promo, and even back then, kids loved their McDonald's Happy Meals. So I'd like to think that most people who were aware of Bionicle back in the day at least experienced those 2. And then a few years pass, and in 2008 and 2009 come 2 card games that I think most people haven't heard of. Or at least I'd be surprised if you said you did. Fantoka Battle Cards, I think it was called, were special random cards that you got in certain regions. They were never released in English to the best of my knowledge. They might have been, but I just don't think I've ever seen an English version of a card. Because I remember they were like, it was 2008, I think, and it was like in Singapore and Sweden and Finland and other weird places. And I don't know anything about the card rules. I don't know anything about the core gameplay or anything like that. I just know that there was a Bionicle card game in 2008, and it never got an English release, which is kind of strange, but whatever. 2008 was well after the Bionicle craze here in America, so who knows, maybe it was really popular in Finland at the time. I wouldn't know. And then finally in 2000, I think it was 2009, don't quote me, in 2009 there was the Legend Reborn, which was it was the final Bionicle card game. It was the one that was tied into the digital app. That was the gimmick for this one. For the Legend Reborn, I believe it had digital tie-in. So it wasn't just a physical card game. There was a website you could go to at the time where you could like integrate digital and physical play. I don't remember the specifics. Like I said, this is just a general overview of the card games themselves. I actually don't have any physical cards to show off because I don't own any Bionicle cards, or if I do, then I've completely forgotten and they're buried in a box somewhere. But yeah, that's the general overview of it there. Then six Bionicle card games released, and all of them released a while ago. None of them really had any staying power. The first four were all tied in pretty heavily with the Bionicle craze at the time, to the point where I'm surprised they weren't done by Decipher, if I'm being completely honest, since that's the company that's kind of known for cashing in while there's a craze, right? But no, the first one was made by Upper Deck, which is kind of strange if you think about it. Upper Deck's not really known for card games so much as trading cards, although I guess they were doing Yu-Gi-Oh for a while. It is what it is. None of them are in print anymore. None of them were really all too special in terms of like card game excellency. I know that there's like people who really do like the first ones, especially Quest of the Mask. There are people who do really like that game, and I'm not gonna cast shade on those who do. It's just that I do vaguely remember playing all of those first four card games back in the day, and while I thought they were fine, I thought with Bionicle, it's cool. Have to love Bionicle, right? I don't remember any of them being particularly amazing. So that's all I've got. Sorry the AC is on. It's really hot, even with it on, and I just don't want to burst into flames. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoyed this brief overview of the Bionicle card games. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll get some Bionicle cards in here to actually show you guys, and you might like that. But for now, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below on what your favorite Bionicle is. It's a loud train. And I'll see you kids in the next one. Ciao.